Hello, everybody. Good evening. Let me check. Maybe the headset. It's gonna be better for the background music for you. So, I think I'm live. Yes, Jenny is in the place. Good to see you. Yeah, hope you all are doing good. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. So, a few things to talk about today, right, regarding Bitcoin. First, the news of the day. Finally got an explanation for this big withdrawal we saw last month from last month or earlier this month. Was Bitcoin that was moved from a US government wallet to Coinbase. And now we officially know that they sold them. So also what some Bitcoin they get from seizure. They seized Bitcoin from related to a Silk Road affair. Anyway, the kind of important thing to be aware of is that they sold about 10,000 Bitcoin and they still have about 40,000 to sell still. So again, a bit more bad news for this bull market. Now the market is reacting decently. Nothing much to be worried, but 40,000 Bitcoins, that's not nothing for this market. Yeah, apparently they sold it around the 14, I think, yeah, here. That said, we don't know when they're gonna sell the rest. Apparently it's gonna be only after the sentence date for this affair. Anyway, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. There is further on Binance, there is further on everything. Yet price is going up, and we are in a bull market, and yeah, we're gonna see new all-time highs before we see new lows, in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course, but yeah, not be too much worried about that. That said, let's talk about the Bitcoin chart. Now, this morning I was looking at this chart again with new highs, and I still feel that we could see a deeper dip here in Bitcoin before going for the 30K breakout. That said, that count that I suggested this morning, the Discord groups, will not say it's invalidated, but we are seeing a bit more strength. We are reclaiming daily open yesterday, daily as well. So we'll see. I have several ideas here for the count on several time frame, but I'm not saying we can take the high again. right? Even if that count is correct. So the idea here was to go with a leading diagonal, simple as that. I still have the other count that I'm going to show you back after, that are still more or less valid as well. There's a few options here. And there is a bullish one that say that we're not gonna go below the Binance third low here from Monday. It is possible that this is a low, but I'm staying on my stance that there is a decent chances that we're gonna visit the 24k range, 24 to 25k, right? And that will be for wave 2. We could also dip first down into the golden bucket. We have a fair value gap here. We have some fair value gap down there as well. Naked POC at the very low. I'm gonna say the same thing. Should we go down there? That's where I'm gonna bet my basically my life saving on a long here, because I have a strong invalidation below that low, below March 10 low. Right? For me, this is impulsive. Whatever is the count, I just don't know for sure which one. So yeah, here I have a valid one. We have 1, 2, 3 smaller than 1, 4 overlapping very slightly with 1, but overlapping it, and a smaller fifth than the third. So we have contraction in price, and we have a valid leading diagonal here. When can we get a bit more confidence about that? Well, only if we take that Binance low here. Then I will come back. Kidding me? Okay, lost internet for a minute. It's back on. So, yeah, I was saying, either we get some kind of corrective here. Could suggest that is a low, or will we get something a bit more impulsive that could suggest another move down? Most likely will still be several possibility. If we come down here, there will not be certainty. But all I want to emphasize is overall I'm more inclined to be long than anything. I am still short, and I have been to the high of this range, as we have just basically a range here. I remained short from the high. Didn't quite catch that high for nice short here, because it was night. And yeah, so I didn't, but I remain at least edge on my spot, you know, and I'm more inclined to hold Bitcoin than USDT or dollar equivalent overall, because I remain in the idea that we are in the beginning of the bull market, and that we are about to enter the third wave of the third wave, when we are gonna go for a breakout of 30k. Right, third wave, as I believe. Let me change the color maybe for that one. Right. Yes, we can have the wave 2 in already. I think we have the chance to go lower. And so yeah, that will be the third wave of the third wave. Well, that go remain to be seen. The target here, well, I just place some target here based on a no count for now. But let's say we have the high right here and we find a low at around 24k, while initial target for that third will be the 160.18 here on log. Could have a linear one, but just to keep things simple for now, you know, could be around 47k. But it can also be more aggressive and go for the 260.18. In between is also a possibility, but you know, that's a preferred target. So that's gonna be more precise when we have confirmation that wave 2 is in, and when I have this confirmation, well, is when I have a strong move that breakout at 30k. Until it happens, for now I can just play some target like this, but I don't know. What I can forecast is a higher degree wave 3. But that doesn't give much precision here. When I made it for the 261.8 because there is extension, so can expect it to be more than 161.8. But yeah, so we can go for the new all-time high on that. Anyway, so yeah, that remained my plan, and that's why also I've been playing for long on the sweep of this low. When was it last time we were streaming? Publicly is the 24th. Yeah, okay, that's where we were here. So if I'm correctly, I think that was during the public live stream that I emphasized this, right? I said the sweep of the low remain along whatever. I didn't really had a nice completed count, a way of doing things here, but nonetheless, that was a sweep of the low, of the range low in a bullish market. And so that was a long trigger for me, so I did enter a long here, even if I was looking for lower and I didn't fully close my short that got stopped out on this rise for a good part of it. But I also take some profit in the short, right? Especially the one from here. And the lowest one that I kept somewhere here, I think. So that's kind of remains the same here. Right now, I'll look for a short. Gonna see what we can read. Hope I'm still live, right? Yeah. Not seeing a lot of comments, but Jerome, we broke market structure in the 1 hour. I think we should see higher. It's possible, yeah. Okay, we're gonna see in a minute. I'm just gonna recap the few counts I have here. So either diagonal finished and we have a top here. We could extend it maybe like this. Take the high once more. 29 for 100 or yeah, 29 500, something like this. Remain a target of interest. Let me check here. 123, yeah. You know, should we sweep the should we sweep the high here? SFP, that would again be a short trigger, and I will into a bigger short. But again, most likely I'm not gonna close much of my long. No, I'm taking a bit of profit, but profit from this long. Well, I've been taken. I have a quick take profit somewhere down there, and obviously above here. But I'm keeping a large chunk open, and I rather let it stop the long and re-enter here because I have a bullish bias over. So I rather enter another short at the high. Or maybe I close a bit more long if I see weakness. you know, I think we can see a breakout anytime. Don't know if it's today, in a week, in a month, maybe in 2 months, but I think at some point we'll see the 30k breakout, and I rather have a nice long position still open. Yeah, because I think after we could see really a very strong move. While the short, I'm gonna be a bit more aggressive on the take profit. So even if I didn't fully close the short here, I did have at least a bit more than 50% close at that point. Well, if we start to claim this and we don't reject, well, you know, start to continue squeezing short. So yeah, that count. One finished, about to finish. That's a possibility. We'd had what else? The idea of a flat here, I guess it's still valid. So the idea of a flat goes with one of my account here. Well, the idea is that the full impulse was finished here. This is a 1. So the initial count that I have, that made me start to edge here, right? And so yeah, the idea is to have a flat as an A. So that should be. Wait a minute, what is that? There's overlapping here. Yeah. Okay. Still messing my counts, right? A, B, C, potentially. The same, I will still be looking for an expanded flat here. Also still looking for that 24k. But that's what you see what I was saying when I say, even if we see impulsive moves here, as I can count a complete impulse, I can look for long, either because we're going from the ABC and we can have a nice bounce, either because we are in fact in a flat and we can go up. Any completed count, any completed five wave count down, I will look to long the 5th. And there is also the other one, which is yeah, the 1 2 1 2 under the same kind of a flat here to finish. Now on the lower time frame, you know, it was quite a nice countdown after all. Initially we had a nice ABC potential, 1-1 extension through the golden pocket. Oh, it's because... No, okay. We extended it a bit more here, but yeah, we had a valid corrective move. So that's why I said, okay, this morning I can see this as a top, but to remain as NBS as possible, yeah, we can have a valid corrective count here. So still look for long, especially as we have quite an impulsive move out of the low. Was initially looking for a small move like this, or up here. We did go a bit beyond here. Now, thing here is we have overlapping between here and here. So we have an impulse down, third impulse down. We have 2 corrective up here. So yeah, either we have 1 2 3 4 5 and we count this small 1, 2 as the same degree of this bigger 3, 4, 5. Either this is an impulse of its own, and we have 3 impulses down, but we have overlapping between the 3 and the 4. So in theory, we don't really have a valid impulse from top to bottom here, because there is overlapping and there is not really a valid diagonal, because the 5th is not bigger than the 3rd, which is bigger than the 1, so not really a valid expanding diagonal. Now I'm saying this to remind, emphasize, 5-minute count, low time frame count, stable to ball. But yeah, as it is, that doesn't look great as a 1, 2 to me. Would I completely ignore it? Not necessarily. Now we have ABC up, this could be ABC down, so could maybe be a flat here. How do I link that to the rest? Kind of complicated, but say if we start to get acceptance back below here, might consider a short, at least a weekly open, see if we hold, see if we continue lower, or if we start to build a very impulsive move, maybe a very short weekly open to see continuation. That was kind of my level here. I say if we reclaim this, things get a bit less bearish short term, because the idea was, well, okay, maybe I have a 1, 2 and I am in a big 3 and this is a 1, 2 and this is a sub 1, 2 and we'll have acceleration. As we take that high, we don't really have this now. Maybe we have a 1, so a bigger 1 here, a smaller 1 here, and this is a flat 1, 2. Theory that's valid as long as we don't take the high here. But you know, I'm in between on that idea. We can have a lot more complex structure as well. Yeah, I only see what else we can have here in the lower time frame. I was really feeling a nice bearish potential this morning, based on the fact that Binance was selling, which, well, Binance have been leading the market pretty much so far, based on the fact that we did again a deviation of the range high, and you know, if after all we still are pretty much at the range high here. So again, we make a deviation here, and we have just been balancing low, high, so starting to the high, low, high, low, high. At some point we're gonna break. And we did have more than the ABC here. It was initially the idea I had. Pretty significant selling here as well. Well, significant. It can see it on the 1 hour here in the volume. You can see there's sustained selling into support. Break that support. So when I see this kind of selling, like this sustained selling, increasing into supported. As I feel my bearish sentiment. We saw as well a lot of movement on Bitfinex wallets. Usually it's a bearish sign. I also had the idea that I would like one last I told you so from bears, you know, a more significant move down and one last trap as we usually have for wave 2, you know. What I mean is, you know, here you or even here, but here you break your support, you make a deviation, you print your wave 2 into a lot of fear and uncertainty and bear that let's start to say I told you so, right? And usually that's a good characteristic of a wave 2. So for me, I still feel that we would need to break that support. Either maybe just a spring, you know, it can be really quick. It doesn't have to last long. And I still in the idea that if we can break this with all the uncertainty environment we have, it could bring the leg we need, the supply we need to, and the short supply we need to squeeze up more heavily. And at the same time, grinding up like this is also bullish, especially, you know, especially with every bearish news. You can see the fact that price is just staring up each time. It's saying a lot. That's what we say. Bull markets, bearish news don't have effect. You know, bear market, bullish news don't have much effect. And that's what it is right now. Bearish news just get bought up pretty quickly and gulf up. While bullish news can send things up pretty heavily. So yeah, yes, that's it for me. Yeah, the other idea, well, if I'm wrong and we don't go lower, well, we have bottom of a wave 2 here. We had really the minimum retrace we can look for here. So we have it. We have a valid corrective move overall. A, B, C here is truncation, I believe. Minimum retrace, 236 retrace. And I guess here we will have a complete impulse, and this has a 1 and this has a 2. So that will be the earlier confirmation to me. If we take that low, well, we can expect this low to get taken. And at this point, I would expect a breakdown. We can stay in a range for a long time, but we already had the inside retrace here, the inside retrace here, the edge of the range that got taken high and low. So inside here and here, and SFP here and there. So in theory, the next move should be a real break. It doesn't say it cannot SFP is a low before continuation, as always, because there's always so much stop that you can just reverse temporarily, bounce temporarily. But yeah, I will say this 2 days low, should it get lost, That would bring me back a bit more confidence about downside. Locally, if I'm starting to count here, trying to count here, I can just see we're still in between being an impulse or corrective. Still, we will need another move to really be impulsive here. Break that high. If we do this, I still have the expanding dagger, the expanding flat. And probably I'm gonna look to be a buyer. The sweep, should we get another high here. For all we know, maybe we stay in that range. So probably gonna look to short. Maybe not the initial SFP, but no, I can push a bit higher. Maybe more about here. Let me check confluence here. Okay. Yeah. So maybe get a short here, but that's probably just too long lower, right? Or if it will be here or in between here. The supply here is a retest of the structure. Supply below these lows that will have been made. Right, is that clear enough? I don't know, maybe probably I'm gonna trade this weekend. I feel we're such at the edge at the moment when we're about to go, then it's gonna be difficult to stay away from the chart. But I probably should, because if we do nothing much, maybe it will be next week the most important. Yeah. No. Yeah. Let me check recommend a bit here. People came in. Hey, Ronek is short. Great, I guess you short from the high. No doubt. Gerrit, hello. Hope you're doing well, mate. Why do you think the bottom is in before new autumn? Oh, for many reasons. Wyckoff structure completed. Yeah, clean that up a bit, zoom out. Right, yeah, we have very nice Wyckoff accumulation here. Very nice retest of a broken trend line. We saw, I don't know, terminal shakeout deviation on the most bearish event possible. Well, not most possible. Most bearish event will be Tether going down. What we saw, Coinbase going down. We saw crypto basically having so much trouble with banking system. No, especially with Signature and Silvergate Bank going down, and other bank not very willing to to give access to the banking system to crypto. So yeah, we have a lot of strong bearish event, fundamentally bearish news that happen, and yet we are getting out of what appeared to be a recumulation with a nice terminal checkout event here. In terms of time, if you compare it, I don't have the chart here, from the previous cycles based on the Bitcoin halving, we bottomed basically at the same time that we halved on the last 4 previous cycles, because the next halving is supposed to happen early April next year, and usually we bottom a year prior to the halving and a year after the all-time high, previous all-time high. That's where we are. I have a completed count as well. I don't know what what else I can add, but there's so many high time frame indicators that say that support that idea. The lost and reclaim of the 200 weekly moving average as well. That's like a very strong significant moving average here. Usually that's the bottom. Usually in the past that have been the bottom. It has been a retest of the 200 weekly. We did lost it, but we have a nice reclamation structure below it. Now we reclaimed it, and so that's also a good sign, right? Trending above the 200 weekly moving average is a good sign. Where is it, by the way? 25k. So again, where we could see a retest of the claim weekly here. We are trending as well on the 200 daily moving average that we did retest it successfully. Can I test it again? But yeah. We have a banking crisis. Bitcoin going up while banks go down. It's just what Bitcoin have been made for. It escapes bank, and we are seeing this full self-fulfilling prophecy unfolding before our eyes. I don't know, I am forgetting 10 reasons why I'm bullish here. And the most important, I have my counts. Because I'm an idiotician before everything else. And my accounts say we have an impulse complete here as a 1, and we have a complete wave 2. I would not say perfect, but nearing the perfection of a textbook's impulsive. Yeah. With volume and interest occurring. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. My invalidation is the low that we print on March. That's why I say, should we get down here, I'm gonna be heavily betting on a big long at that point, more than I should. It's not impossible that my count is somewhere wrong and this is fifth, and we go for an SFP of that wrecks me a lot. But at the moment, according to my rules, Bitcoin, as long as this low holds, we are in a bull market, basically. The question that remains is how the rest gonna unfold here. For me, it's more about that than anything else. How it's gonna how the two gonna unfold, if it, unless it is already what we had. And I'm doubtful about this. I think we have a bit more fuel below us right now. I want to see one last capitulation before everybody is right and jump into the train in the third wave, and everybody is bullish and everybody will be right, even the crypto, Carlos Moon, etc. And at the moment that everybody is right is during the third wave. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna unfold. Are we gonna finish a full? Are we gonna go right now for a very strong move here? Go for the 100k out of this, or are we gonna have a bit more conservative target and just print a more shallow impulse like this and see one last big dip to print a bigger wave 1, 2? Possible. In the past, at least in the previous cycle, that's what we did. We did bottom a year prior to the halving. We print a very nice impulse move as a first wave, and we had a very aggressive last dip that came very close to the low just a few months prior to the halving that happened somewhere into here, if I remember correctly. And then we go for the third. So that's kind of the question that remained for me. Are we gonna front run the halving and really go for the bull run prior to it, and at the halving will already be quite high? Or are we just going to print a nice impulse now and come back down and have a nice dip at the end of the year, beginning of next year? Well, you know, I will get more about this depending how this unfold and evolve. Make it sense for flat tip correction. Asking Hasta la Vista, wave B was at 29.2. Sorry, try to keep up with the comment. Of course, I'm getting a bit, and I get a bit of delay here with my internet. 29 to make it sense for flat, does it? I mean, yeah, that's, yeah, one of the count I showed somewhere. That one, yeah, that's still possible here. No, I mean, in fact, it could also come a bit higher. Would not invalidate it. But yeah, we can have a flat like this. That remain an idea, like knowing that expanded flat in such circumstances, I will look for easily look for the 261.8 extension, so that could tip take liquidity here, golden pocket, even very aggressive move. If you print an impulsive move like this out of the low, you know how this is gonna fuel bearish sentiment. But it could also come a bit higher, or maybe that retraces a wave 4. No. That's always kind of the difficult part with Elliott. You have to stay always flexible, open to many possible counts. Give you the edge. But you're rarely certain. You should not anyway, but really certain what is the count. But maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not great because it is a very big 4 compared to the rest, but in theory it's valid. And as we have something that feels decently impulsive so far locally, I can expect this. And this as fifth can work for the flat or can work for the leading diagonal. what it say, it give confluence for potential top at 25,500. When we get there, just that one will go for a corrective move next, and one will go for an impulsive move next, because one will be the top of wave 1 and looking for wave 2, and this one will be top of wave B and looking for a C. That would be the bottom of the two. So again, if you get 5, you don't know, was that the flat, wave C over flat and the bottom is in, or was that the bottom of wave A and we just get a bounce and get back down again. We'll not be sure, but we'll have confidence to get along here and see how it evolves. Maybe we'll have confidence to get a short back here. We look for confluences to trigger and keep position open on one side or both sides, in fact. So usually that's what I like. Most of the time, at some point, I will not have any short open. I'll just let the long ride. Welcome. 261.8 for an expanded flat so far, not 161.8. It can be 161.8, but you know, 261.8 for an expanded flat on Bitcoin is something that I can easily see. Here in linear, that will be just lining right now with the golden pocket. But yeah, an expanded flat in Bitcoin, you can have extremely deep and aggressive wave C. Especially on Bitcoin, you say, because that's the one I know. I'm not so aware of how the market behave. So yeah, still a slight bearish sentiment locally until we claim 30k, basically 29,500. But overall a strong bullish feeling. Okay. I guess I'm gonna keep this short. I say what I had to say. I need to go to the grocery as well, and it's gonna close pretty soon. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm hesitating. This recent price action this week, yeah, it's kind of making me wonder, you know, do we... Maybe we have our 1-2 here. We go. We are coming in the end of the month. Maybe a quick look at Oz market. Euro dollar. More impulsive than when I was expected. I think we can have one more dip and the euro looks strong. More interesting is gold, because that's what I would like to diversify in as well a bit. Not expecting as much growth, obviously, but we have very nice impulse on gold, so I change the count a bit. I think here we have one more fifth. We could go into a small short in gold here. I would really like to then long either POC of the range or maybe golden pocket come back below the low. SFP of that low, maybe. Let's see. Alright, I think there is good potential for gold, at least to hold value. Look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so maybe it's not gonna be that big, but fundamentally there is good potential for gold. You know, especially with what's happening with currencies, you know, de-dollarization of the world, or whatever we call that. I suppose you heard a bit about it, or you should have. But it seems that the countries that are looking to take a step away from dollar are also stacking gold, and it makes sense. And there is some rumors or more or less official announcement about a new currency that the BRICS could they are building and could be partially backed by gold. Anyway, all of that to say, they're interesting to pack some more gold at some point. Oil, this seems to have bottomed. I did back up some oil, not on the market, but some domestic fuel. Personally, I did that last week. There's a potential account, to be honest. I just saw an account from Elliott Wave International that do some free pass currently on oil. It seems to have a much more bearish count on oil, but I am reading a potential ABC here, or 1 to 3 in fact. That's a count that I have. I think it could help, especially if tension increase on the geopolitical side. We may expect some more tension in oil-related countries. I think this Arthur A. CEO of BitMEX that write an article about that last month. It was pretty interesting. But you know that value of dollar is also mostly based on oil. Stocks are a bit more resilient than I was expecting. That say, I still believe that at least for S&P and Dow Jones that we did topped out, like a big cycle, right? From 1877. And I think we have the top now locally, trying to make some counts. But as I say, I'm not as good for that. But for me, it seems that we have some kind of impulse here. This was potentially a completed 2. As long as this doesn't breach, we still have a valid 1-2 here, and this has a sub 1-2, which means at some point we can see pretty big capitulation, sending us back somewhere into COVID crash initially. 161.8 extension basically, depending where it is. I'm struggling with that. Uh, 25. I'm pretty bearish on stuff personally. But should we get the high here? Maybe we style a bit more. Maybe we have an A and a flat here, A, B, and could stay here for some few months. Could probably be that could probably be preferable if we want Bitcoin to rise heavily. We know it can be inversely correlated now. It has proven so with the banking crisis, but it's true that if there is a very, very strong capitulation in stock, that could pull Bitcoin down, and it seems that we are not high enough to really be secure yet. Quote unquote. Nasdaq seems a bit stronger, probably due to the IA intelligence artificial side. So, and it's a lot younger, so it doesn't really have a full completed cycle yet. Well, it could, but where is the complete chart? Yeah. You know, it seems that could be just in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and overall in 1, 2, 3. Could be in a lot better shape than the rest. DGI have the same, basically the same count that S&P. Nat gas. Yeah, nat gas, we talk about that. I think it's bottoming as well, about to. At least ideally, I think we can have one dip below the 2020 low. Is it correctly 1%? I'm not sure. Might be a bit too ambitious to see for down there, but right now I'm seeing one obvious corrective, another obvious corrective, so I will tend to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe one more extension. If S&P nukes, Nasdaq should do, yeah, it could, but maybe Nasdaq will have go up a bit more and be not so in between, you know. Right now it's outperforming slightly, I think. Right. It's already took the high from February, and maybe Nasdaq could be close to the high or a new all-time high when S&P dump if it happens. Anyway, yeah. Thanks everybody. Have a good weekend. Thanks for joining me. It was a pleasure. Appreciate you all, and I see you all soon. Maybe in Discord over the weekend, even.